Unfortunately, who didn't do something special was our very own South Carolina Gamecocks to end 2024. Citrus Bowl, South Carolina loses 21-17. Heartbreaking fashion for a group that brought back so many seniors that played in that game. So many different factors you played a part into this loss. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on what did you see throughout the game. What were some of your feelings and takeaways?
I think for me, honestly, bro, it's just one of those situations where we're in a big moment, and that's a big moment for us because, just of everything that's happened last year and everything, and just the ending of the season. Yeah, finish. You gotta continue to stay the course. I feel like, there really was no right or wrong, but you just gotta stay the course, the whole entire way. Um, man, I don't even know. I just feel like there's a lot of growth still for Lenoris, you know. Um, but I just really can't pinpoint what went right or wrong. It's just one of them games where, it just didn't go our way. It really just didn't go our way, and we can't really finish it. So, um, it's growing pains. It happens. I mean, apparently for a lot of people who kind of judge and say, "Hey, like we shouldn't have been in because we lost to Illinois." Look, man, I don't want to really hear none of that, man. Somebody had to win, somebody had to lose, bro. Like, just come on, just hop off of it. But man, just one of those situations, man. It just didn't go the way it just didn't go the way it went. You just got to stay the course and just improve from that, and nothing to take away from it, negatively because the season was great. So. I ain't really got nothing like negative to say about it though.
That's what you feeling. I know you got to have something for the people, but dog.
Man, listen, it's just an unfortunate loss. Very unfortunate loss. Feel like from start to finish, first half, offense just wasn't clicking. This is the first game Mike Shula has full control of the offense. So things just weren't clicking too right at the end. I don't know if just the receivers just not getting open or if it just like you said, just more growth on Lenoris. Lenoris has some missed throws. And that happens, we're taking a month off. We last game we played was against Clemson well over a month ago, which I mean, it's really no excuse, bro. We still should have been ready to play Illinois. Um, a lot of people saying Illinois is the bottom feeder of their conference, but I mean, obviously not, man. Illinois is pretty good, Big Ten school, and they proved it this year. So no excuse, no anything. We just flat out got out coached, outperformed. Illinois wanted to win. They wanted to win more. We tried our best. I saw a lot of flashes in the second half, but we just didn't want to win. So
I would say my biggest disappointment was with Lenoris and the passing game still not being able to find. It feels like a rhythm. It still feels like we still missing the big play over the middle. Like, obviously you had Delvon Campbell on the big deep shot, but on a consistent basis, I don't see our guys win over the middle. I don't see Mazio getting touches. I don't see, I didn't see Jared Brown. We missed some opportunities of Jared Brown, and like you said, the month off obviously has some, plays a factor in terms of rust. And these are younger guys, like, obviously Mazio, Nick Harbor, and lanorrissellers. These are all younger guys. So that long of a layoff for guys that are playing in their first bowl season, it probably worked against them. I think the way we had been playing, obviously to the previous six games, if you have that team play maybe 2 weeks after they play Clemson, then maybe this looks different. But also missing not having your entire squad there, not having Kyle Kennard, who is the best defensive player in college football. Also not having an all SEC caliber running back and Rocket Sanders. But like you said, no excuse, man. I was looking for guys to get opportunities and to elevate and to show what they could do for 4 quarters. Not necessarily. I won't necessarily say I'm disappointed. Probably, I'm slightly disappointed in our run defense in that game with the group that we had for that. Having Demetrius Knight, having Debo Williams, and then having this defensive front giving up 183 yards rushing is a problem for me. And then those guys obviously not coming back. That's also those are. I hate to say these are signs of things that we need to watch for 2025. And we've spoken on already. Like get hey, enjoy what you had this year. You may not see that next season. But overall, I mean, nothing crazy. Like I'm not like if had we won the game, great. We got 10 wins. It feels like we finished off on the right note, but it doesn't change anything. It literally changes nothing in that. And I hate to say it, but I won't say bowl games don't matter just because we didn't win, but there is no consolation to not being in the college football playoff unless you follow up the next year with more success.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, for what it was projected to be and just the odds that we kind of defined like this year, whether we won or lost, it probably wouldn't have mattered, the outcome. I mean, granted, like some people will be like, oh, this was a good season, but what if? It would have been, I feel like it would have been a what if season had we won, that game. Even, this year, you can still see it as like a what if season. We lost a bowl game, whatever, but you just go back to the regular season and just look at how the way we ended, the momentum, the whole country was on our side, towards the end, towards the selection show. And I think that's just something that, not as a fan base, but just as a community, as a Gamecock community as a whole, fans, athletes, students, whatever, you know, it's so much more to improve on, but it's just so much to be, thankful for um, this entire year. So, I mean, I would like for us to win the game, the trophy. It would have been nice. Um, but Illinois fans, they was trolling on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but it's just like, um, this one, like I said, one hell of a year. You know what I'm saying? One hell of a year, no matter what the results is, man. It is what it is to this point. It's not like it's one of the higher, bowl games like the Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl. It's the Cheeses Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Get a free box of cheeses, move on, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I just want to say that I'm kind of disappointed Shane Beamer showing his ass like that. For getting taunted.
Nah, bruh.
Um,
Hey, Briar River Beamer, bruh. Nah, bruh. Hey, we don't take that. We don't take that, bruh. Broad River Beaver, man. And we ain't talking about the side with the ball on it. We talking about deep in the trenches, Broad River, bruh. Down there with stabbing them boys at, bruh. He out
Hey,
there.
na-
He out
hey,
there,
guarding
two
bruh.
notch, hey,
guarding
two
three
notch
teams.
beam, baby. Yeah, yeah. But Ace, I gotta ask though. So why would you be disappointed? Out of all the guys, I wouldn't think that would be your stance about Beam and his reaction to the taunt by Brett B.
I would say only because of the type of bowl game that we're in. If we're in the playoffs, they doing that shit. You in your mode, you locked in. Cool, yeah. Show your ass, absolutely. Come on, show some fight, fire up your team. But bro, come on, man. This is it's an expedition game at the end of the day,
Nah,
bro.
like I
Like
get it. Like I get it, but it's like that also kind of shows the competitive that he has no matter what type of game that he's in. You feel what I'm saying? Like it really don't really matter. You feel me?
abs-
Like it could be Cheese's Bowl,
yeah,
what I'm saying, PlayStation Bowl, whatever. Like he wanna win. You know what I'm saying? This is a
absolutely.
resume game at the end of the day still. That's winning a bowl game, that's still on your resume. I don't care like what type of bowl
I,
game.
Absolutely, and I would have a problem if my coach wasn't willing to crash out. You know what I'm saying? By any level of disrespect, like that. That's where I'm at with it. Like is it a is it irrational? Yeah, bro. It probably was a bit irrational. I ain't gonna sit there and lie to you. Knowing the full context of the situation, it really wasn't that crazy to me. Once I heard Bila Masai of the story, it wasn't that crazy. But I like it though because you got to be irrational. You need irrational confidence. You need irrational competitiveness in order to be at the top of at the top of your profession. You're gonna need to have that level of fire, and I appreciate it. Even in the exhibition game, an exhibition game that means absolutely nothing, I appreciate it because if you do get to that point and you do get to that stage that we're all gunning and aiming for, I know what you're bringing to the table. I at least know, like, hey, bro, we going balls to the wall. We gonna battle. We have, there is gonna be no doubt left in terms of whether we wanted it or whether our coach was going all in for it.
Yeah, man. And honestly, me, y'all both know me. I'm competitive too. Um, even with this loss, I wasn't even tripping. And that's how like, hey, nobody else should be tripping either. If I'm not tripping by the loss, but being I respect the competitiveness. It's just my only stance is just the Cheez-It Bowl. That's it. Other than that, any other bowl game, if it's something that matters, then absolutely, Bean, show your ass. So that's just my stance with it.
I will say though, now that we're here, because I mean, none of us really had any real thoughts about the Cheez-It Bowl going in. Like this is what I want to say. I know this is somehow gonna reach the purview of Illinois fans, and y'all should be happy. And y'all should congratulate yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You did your big one. I ain't gonna front with you. Y'all boys competed. Y'all played a physical game, and y'all deserve a lot of credit for what you did in a great conference that is the Big Ten. We do respect the Big Ten over on this side of the Mississippi. But what I will say is that after watching the entire weekend of football, bro, or week, it does pain me to say that we are still a little ways away from being in that upper tier. You know what I'm saying? You start watching some of these other games, and I won't say no names, but Ace, you know exactly what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. You watch certain teams, and you see how these games go. You look at the talent that's on every single position, and you like, damn, how the hell I get that? You feel me? I get what you got, big dog. You pushing the Beamer down the street. I'm here pushing the Honda Accord, bro. I'm trying to get what you got, big dog.
I was gonna say this for the review. You know what I say in the group chat. I was gonna say it for the review show. I probably got to break it out now. For I probably got to break it out now just to piggyback what you just said. Just to bring it back to South Carolina here. It's just there's no disrespect. There's no disrespect to anybody that's on our team right now. But
Yeah,
I'm just
it is.
looking
Yeah,
at
it is.
Ohio.
Yeah, it is. Stop it. It's disrespect. You being disrespectful. Let go. Yeah,
But
bring it.
we got to call a spade here, bro.
You better
I'm
call it a
looking at
spade or ace of 10, 9, 8, whatever. With any
we
card in
got to
that.
call it. We got to call it like that, bro. I'm looking at Ohio State. I'm looking at even Texas. I'm looking at them schools in general, and I'm just looking at us in South Carolina, and I'm like, man, it's kind of a great thing we didn't make the playoffs this year. Let me tell you why. We don't have no Jeremiah Smith. We don't have no TJ Moore. We don't have a Brian Westco. We may have the defense to like keep us in, but our receivers, our weapons, all day we may got Rocky Sanders. That's about it. No depth at running back.
All right, let
Brother,
me ask this question.
go ahead.
Out of those two teams, out of Texas and Ohio State, which actually, let's scratch Texas out. Because those are like I mean even the Texas game was kind of like iffy. They let ASU they almost got ran. Let's talk about Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Mhm.
That's the two games that I watched. I watched both of them games. I did not expect me personally. I did not expect Notre Dame to do Georgia what they did. I did not. I ain't no. Out of those two teams, who would you not want us to match up against?
Ohio
Because
State.
I ain't gonna lie, Ohio State did Oregon dirty. You
Oregon
understand
did us
me?
worse.
Ohio
Did us
State is
worse.
what it looks like when you pay 20 M's for the team, but you also have been a team that even prior to that always kept a 5-star receiver on your roster. Hey, so much so that Jamison Williams had to transfer. Like that's how much talent you've collected.
Alabama.
And you start talking about you, going to Alabama like that. That's how much talent they've collected. And you even think about Bama and in the previous iterations of their team. You start thinking about like why was there such a wide gap between Bama and the rest of the field? It's like, dog, because you can collect this insurmountable amount of talent on one roster. And I know, and I understand it's harder to do in today's version of college football, but you can look at the guys you recruit and be like, and you kind of can know, you can get a good sense of, are we pushing towards that? And what I will say is, with signing a guy like Donovan Murphy just the other day, And looking at guys like Brian Rowe, Malik Clark, um, there are a bunch of guys that I believe are potential it factor guys. And I look at the talent level that's just it's just being risen. Like, Justin Stepp had I know offense to Justin Stepp and what he did in South Carolina, but he was very vocal over the week, over this past week after the victory. But you start looking at the guys he recruited in comparison to Brian Furry or Furry. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but the current wide receivers coach at South Carolina. It takes getting 4-star, 5-star level guys in order to raise the bar. But when you've consistently been 3-star and you're having to try to elevate these guys past the level that where they maybe not necessarily belong, you do have a bunch of these guys like I have to say it. I got like Xavier Legette, for example. Like a guy that it took 5 seasons before you got him to play at a optimal level. Josh Van, another guy that it took 5 seasons to get decent football out of.
Jalen Brooks.
When you have
Took Jalen Brooks.
Jalen Brooks, and Jalen Brooks didn't even play his best ball here in Carolina. He's played better ball as a pro than he played in South Carolina. Like that's the reality of it, and that's the biggest issue that we've had in South Carolina. We haven't had impact guys step on campus and immediately splash. Now, obviously, this past year, Dylan Stewart was a very different factor. Nick Mawari, when he stepped on campus, was a different factor, and along with guys like Jalen Kilgore and others. So I like what Beam has done, because Beam and his recruiting classes, those guys play. They play and they contribute early on, and that is a great telltale sign of the talent that you're acquiring. And so I have faith in the guys that you have coming up, but you just definitely get a good glimpse of where you're at on the totem pole. And Lenoris you gotta look at Lenoris and some of the things that we love about him. Then we do have to very much be realistic that Lenoris still as a passer isn't where he needs to be in order to garner the amount of love that he garnered, I think, across the nation. Like his running ability is what kept people in tune and enthralled. But there's still much to be desired as a passer, which I think, which is good. He's just scratching the surface in his first year as a starter. But I need to see so much growth from him, Mazeo Bennett, Nick Harbor. All of those guys need to make such a big leap from now to next season that it's insane. But I'm looking at those guys and saying, hey, what are you going to do this offseason to make sure you're better than what you were last year, and that we don't even have to compare you to what you were last year? Like the accomplishments you're looking to attain will pale in comparison to what you've done to this point. I need to see something out of those guys.
And to finish off with that is what I asked and what I said in the chat was, Beam, what are you going to do going forward? What is this going to be? What is South Carolina going to be? And not even just Beam. It needs to be more than that. It needs to take a village here to get to where we at with Ohio State, where we getting that, throwing bags like a Ole Miss, throwing bags like a Oregon, throwing bags like a Texas, throwing bags like a Michigan, and LSU. You know why? Because they booster clubs believe in the team. The booster clubs wants to see progress. So we doing that with the bare minimum. We doing that with on a budget right now. We can't waste money on players. We don't have that fortunate. We're not that fortunate just yet. We got to strike gold there. We have to strike gold now. So for me to be confident in the 2025 season, Beam, I have to see more. I have to see more for us to get back to it, because in my mind right now, I feel like we are just going to be, hey, let's just beat Clemson. And no, not to the boys in Pickens County, but I'm sorry, bro. It's so many years, I want to be like, we beat y'all at Super Bowl, or, and I feel like y'all feel the same way. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all hate saying, oh, man, let's just beat South Carolina. That's how you know the season's a damn failure. Hate to say it. Good for the rivalry, good for bragging
Yeah,
rights.
it's similar to uh the boys of employment, same thing. Where it's just like the fans, they want to see more, but it's like just beat Tech. You know what I'm saying? At what point do you want to go beyond that? And I think this year, it kind of, from going on the 7 game win streak and going to a bowl game, that kind of gave us expectation and hope that, hey, like maybe we don't have to have that mentality anymore. But, and it's like you said, Ace, is like, you know, at some point, some people are just tired of like just being just a joyride, and it's like, oh, we beat Clemson. Like sometimes we just kind of like tired of just like week to week, we are like analyzing every win or every loss or every whatever, and it's like, oh, Clemson come up, we got to be the best team in the country. Like mentally, we have to be like that every week. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like you said, it's gonna get to the point with like being, what have you done for me lately? It's gonna continue to be that. You get what I'm saying? Because fans want more now. We see what you can do. We know what you can do now, but it's like, what more can you give? We want.
Well, it's gonna take our boosters. We got to donate more, bro. We got to donate more, and even the people that got their masters from the University of South Carolina, they got to donate and believe. I know we just been for the good bit. We've been in the Stone Ages with Will Muschamp, but it's gonna have to take for Beam. You know what Alabama doing? What they AD doing? He doing emails to people that attend to the University of Alabama games. I got one myself. He sent one to me because I went to the game this past year. But yeah, he's sending people, encourage people to donate. You know, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take to donate and invest. This is a stock here. We got to invest in our stock because with this new era of NILs, every good player is off the market. Look what Michigan did for Bryce Underwood. You know what I'm saying? Barstool, the sixth richest man in the world, graduated from the University of Michigan. Sixth richest man in the world. Did a meeting with Bryce Underwood to get him to flip from LSU to Michigan.
You
That's what
talking
we
about
can do
Dave?
out here in this world.
He the sixth richest man in the world? Really?
The sixth richest, the owner of Barstool, I think, is the sixth richest man in the world, and he is an alumni from the University of Michigan.
I
They
can't
important
stand
to
him.
see.
But
No,
proceed.
they important to the situation man in the world. If you would have said U.S., I'm like, you know what? Yeah, for sure. The world.
So I talk about.
Hmm.
I don't want to say. I
Hey,
want to say U.S. Actually,
But
U.S.
he
U.S.
got
My
to be
bad.
okay,
U.S.,
My
bro.
bad.
Ain't no
U.S.
way.
but nonetheless, you bring up a great point. But I also think though an underrated point is that we also have a new AD that is coming from a situation. He's coming from TCU, which has also been a solidified athletics program, top to bottom. So I do believe we're gonna get into. I believe things are going to change. Like you said, I think we've done well with what we had with Ray Tanner and where we were at because we knew we were always kind of behind. And I think Beam has overachieved. I want to still give Beam his flowers. Beam has done a fantastic job of, he's overachieved here at South Carolina. When you look at so far his 4 seasons now, 7 wins in year one with no quarterback, 8 wins the following year. Obviously, 2023 went how it went, but this year with a redshirt freshman quarterback and not much else on offense in terms of guys you knew that you could lean on, you found a way to get the 9 wins, and you went on a 6 game win streak, and you did beat your rival. What's next? Obviously, we're all looking at what's next because that can't be the end all be all. I know Beam. The reason why I do have confidence is that I know Beam knows it's not the end all be all because Beam has been here when beating Clemson was just part of the course. That's what you did. What do you do after that? These were teams that were going 10-2, 11-2. Like these were teams that were consistently in a national picture. The situation, obviously, in college football was just different. But we make 3 consecutive playoffs in those in that great era of South Carolina football. If things were different, but that's neither here nor there. The main thing is that I do believe we have the coach that is pushing to be more than just beating your rival. So that's where I have confidence. The AD, I do believe, is going to try to implement different things. Well, I'll have to do more research on him and what he did at TCU in terms of what things he brought there, in terms of NIL, in terms of fundraising. So we'll see. But ultimately, I said it in the chat, and I'll say it here: winning the state of South Carolina and on the recruiting trail will always lend to you being a national contender in some shape, form, or fashion. When we've been at our best guys are from the state. And I think landing Malik Clark, landing Donovan Murph, landing Jaden Sellers, Josh Gritron, these are all guys from the state of South Carolina. Irmo, Ridgeview, Florence. Like these guys are all here. Rock Hill. You win that, you keep the best players in your state and see won't something change. Josiah Thompson, your starting left tackle. Hey, guess where he's from? Dillon. You feel me? Like when you're at your peak, your best guys are from the state of South Carolina. So I think the work that he's doing at home is gonna pay dividends for us down the road. But with that being said, I think we've said all we needed to say about South Carolina in this instance, and trust me, we do got more to say, and that will be coming at a later date.